What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're here with another clash in Celestials Fireburn versus Thunder Nexus, or, close to Thunder Nexus. Let's see which Thunder-ish deck is going to be better as we get started here. My opponent is going to be starting it off here. As you know, everyone draws 5 cards to start. If you start off, you do not draw that extra 6 card, just to make it easier. But they will draw first. Both casters have 20 spears to start out, and they're going to start out with everyone's favorite rabbit, the Ash Rabbit, which allows you to draw, look at the top 3 cards from your deck. You pick one, you put the other 2 back, you shuffle and shuffle around, and then you move on with your turn. That's my opponent is doing right now. They are shuffling and they're looking. They're looking to see what they're going to take. And I've been there. I've been there a couple times. It is very difficult sometimes to decide what you're going to actually use, because I've had a couple, like 2 counter ruins or like an earthquake and ambrosia. Which one do you want to take at the time? Or you get 2 Celestials. Maybe you want another Ash Rabbit. Maybe you want a Ken Leo. Maybe you want something that's going to help you now or later. It does take some time. They set 1 card down, and they end their turn. Spirit count as checks is me 20, them 19. This is going to get interesting. I will draw. So I draw, I get my first set of cards, dropping 2 spirits down. I don't know why I grabbed 2, it's what I do. And I too will play the same exact thing with an Ash Rabbit, which is one of the biggest staple cards in the entire game. I'm hoping that as Celestials goes on, we can get more than just Ash Rabbit being the only elemental card that does this. So if you don't want to use Thunder in your deck, or you can go and get a different element. They could have did this with Ash Rabbit, the new Fire Celestial, but they dropped the ball on that one in my opinion. I put mine in defense. I play face 1 down. And then I play, which is always one of my staples to always play, 2 Fire Spirits, Eruption, which puts them down 3 spirits unless there is a fire casted Celestial on their side of the field, which makes you only get rid of 1. Which, if you're a fire caster, I recommend never doing Eruption if you see them having a fire spirit on their side of the field. So that drops them down to 16, and I'm down to 17 spirits as well. Their turn, they draw immediately. And here's where things will start to get a little interesting. Which they're thinking. But this is an easy play for them right here. As you will see. They're going to grab 2 Thunder Spirits of their own. And they're going to play Thunderstorm. I set 1, obviously. And they are going to destroy it. That turned out to be a Shield of Achilles. And looking back on this match, that was the only counter ruin I saw in my entire drawing of this game. For this. Then they are going to play Spark It, which everyone knows what Spark It's next ability is. We'll get there in a second. They don't do it immediately, but they do go with the Ambrosia, grabbing 3 of their Thunder Spirits back from the Underworld. Always a great staple for the cards is to get if they have Ambrosia, giving him 3 spirits back. And then, which I would have done this, obviously, they use these. He puts Spark in an attack position. Ash Rabbit in an attack position, but realizes he can't attack over my own Ash Rabbit because neither one of these Celestials have 5 attack or more. Well, more than 5 attack. However, they decide that they are going to go, and if you know Sparkit's Nexus ability allows you to look at your opponent's hand when you Nexus, and after some thinking here from my opponents, that's exactly what they're going to do. Allowing them to look at my hand, my hand was Necroth, Eruption, Volcanic Forge, and Ambrosia. Now, my opponent chooses the Necroth to get rid of for whatever, for some reason I don't know. Yes, I am a 5 attacker, but at this time, I'm guaranteed that's a counter ruin there, so me attacking into the Spark It would have been no sense. But spirit count is me 17, them at 15, but I'm going to ascend into Sonicore, negating any and all counter ruins from being played on either side of the field, as long as Sonicore is in attack position. So then I do, I mean, he could have got rid of Eruption. I play it because why not? Knocking down the three more spirits, which knocks them down to 15. I mean, the 12 from 15. It's like, you live and you learn, but that knocks them down to 15. That's the only spirit damage I'm going to be able to do this turn, because I do play Ambrosia to get 3 of my spirits back, which I started with 17 on this turn, went all the way down to 13, back up to 16. So in all, this turn only cost me 1 spirit for the game, for this turn. I attack in, but because Spark It got that Nexus off on the previous turn, no extra spirit damage is done. They are down to 12 spirits, as I'm explaining to him right now. Then, my opponent's turn comes up next. And of course, as all, they will draw. They draw. Gotta have a little think about it. What are they going to do? They don't have many options with only 3 cards in their hands. No counter ruins can be played at this time. But they will play and be able to get a little bit more life back by playing a Quackle, allowing them to get 3 Thunder Spirits to return to their hand, which is always a fun one. I mean, everyone talks about water having most of the recovery tool, but you do have Quackle who does some recovery as well. But that's all they can really do, is put Quackle in defense position and end their turn after getting 3 back. They're back up to 14 spirits. I'm at 16. I draw. And obviously the easiest answer here, I'm going to play another Astrabbit, the Stellar Astrabbit. Awesome looking card, by the way. Looking at the top 3 cards in my deck. Taking 1, putting 2 back, shuffling, all the good stuff here. And as you can see, it's taken me a minute because I've gotten pretty much 2 or 3 good cards, and it's always one of those decisions, what do I want to use? What do I want to use? So after a shuffle, 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 of course I'm splitting the deck up, just do my best shuffling. Only thing I really can do, I thought about doing something, and then I'm like, nah, let's not do it. I destroy the Quackle and end my turn. I have 15 spirits, and they have 14. Opponent draws again on their turn, and they play another Astrabbit in defense position. Astrabbit is too good of a card. Honestly, unless you're playing a specific deck, if you don't have an Astrabbit in your hand, in your deck, or 2 or 3, what are you even doing? Which is why I hope that we get at least 1 or 2 more elements, elemental nexuses of Astrabbit that had the same exact ability. I would love to have all 8, but I know that's not going to happen now. At least 1 or 2 more, so maybe if you want to do, like, Fire Burn, like, if you want to have Frost, or Thunder, or, like, say, Water with that same ability, that's fine, but... I mean, I'd even take one that only lets you look at 2. And that's basically all they could do. That is all they could do. Very close game still here. 15 spirits to 13. But here's where things will start to turn around a little bit. So I'm going to play a Toxion in attack position. Love that fact that I got them Shattered Stars from my boy. This one other guy. But I'm able to burn them for 1. And then they put it in attack position. I put Astrabbit in attack position. I then attack and destroy the Astrabbit with Sonicore, and then I hit them for 2, knocking them down to 10 spirits. So they went from 13 to 10, just like that. And I have a nice 4 spirit lead going into the next turn, as we have 5 turns into this game. And then my opponent, this one they draw on their turn. We're on turn 5 here. They draw. They draw. And here's where things get very, very interesting. They're going to draw. They're going to play. After a little bit of thinking here, as you can see, it does it's like Electrals is it's not a hard game to get into, but it also if you know what you're doing, it's a thinking man's game. You have to think sometimes, and they're gonna play Zeus, hitting him with 1, and then loading it up with 3 more spirits, which I think in hindsight was probably a very bad idea. Because that just pulled 3 off of them, putting them down to 8. I'm sorry, putting them down to 6. Then they're going to play Toxion, burning me for 1, knocking me down to 13 spirits. They're going to, this was a very interesting play here. They disenchant from Zeus. And I'm going to pause this here for a second. They disenchant from Zeus. And the original play they wanted to do was go into my Sonicore, which goes Zeus minus his 3 attack and I think defense as well. That would have knocked Sonicore's attack down to 4. Toxion's attack is 4 as well. What they could have done was crashed their Toxin into my Sonicore, destroying Sonicore, and of course costing them 1 extra Celestial, 1 extra Spirit. But they absolutely decide not to do that, and they take that effect and apply it to my Toxion, lowering its attack and destroying it in the process, ending their turn on the fact that they were going to do that. Now, obviously, if they would have had a second Zeus and played a second Zeus and disenchanted from both of them and applied it to Sonicore would have been down to 1 attack, and then you could have destroyed it, no problem. But they decided, and this is you could definitely tell they're not a seasoned veteran or not somebody who's been playing that long, because if you have a chance to destroy Sonicore, you destroy Sonicore. But they didn't. They destroyed Toxion, and then I draw on my turn. I have 13 spirits. They have 5. I draw, looking for I believe my final 2 Thunder Spirits. I play Thunderstorm, destroying Zeus. Then I destroy the Toxion and attack them both head on, so I hit them for 2 damage, knocking them down to 3 spirits because of the spirit differential and the fact that it's rapid attacks as well. They're down to 3 spirits, but they end up finding that Ambrosia on the first top deck Ambrosia. Always loved that top deck Ambrosia. I had one of the best comebacks I wish I would have had recorded with the top deck Ambrosia. But that's in the past, and we're going to move forward with this. They get the 3 spirits back. And they get 3 spirits back, but that puts them back up to 5 because of the Ambrosia. But it's going to pretty much just be down. They get, in the end, they have 1 spirit back because they're going to play. They're thinking here. They have 2 options on cards. I don't know what the other card is. They're going to take a Wind Spirits. And they're going to take that Wind Spirit. And I don't know what they're taking forever for, but they take the Wind Spirit. They're asking me pretty much what my attacks are for them, and I have Exalt. They put out Exalt here. Shattered Stirs, obviously, but that puts them down to 4 spirits. They attack and destroy my Astrabbit, which I did not put back in defense position because I wanted to get as much off as possible. Leaving me with Exaltair. I'm sorry, just with Sonicore. I play Valkyries in attack position. Then I play the Volcanic Forge, boosting him up some more. And then I play Hammer of Hephaestus. I do not have Hephaestus, but that also boosts him up as well. If my calculations are correct, he is at a 9 attack. He starts with 3. I believe it's 3, right? Starts with 3, gets boosted for every fire speed on the field, and the Hephaestus for Hammer of Hephaestus for every ruin on my side, getting him +2 as well. Destroys the Exaltator, destroy the hit it for 2, leaving him with 2 spirits. My opponent is going to draw basically one final time. Trying to figure out what they can do in this dire. If they had a top deck Ambrosia, that could help out as well. Again, but I don't know if they have any Ambrosias left. They're thinking on what to do. It is definitely tough to do when you're this far down in spirits with only 2 left. They're going to play the Toxion in defense position. That is going to leave me with, drop me down to 5 spirits. I'm sorry, with 6 spirits. That's right. It drops me down to 6 spirits. I draw. I attack with the Exaltator on the Toxion, destroying it. I attack with the Sonicore to hit them for 2 spirits. They only had 1 left. That is going to be the end of the clash. I pick up the win, and that is going to be that. Now, one of the biggest things that when it comes to going up against Sonicore, if you have a way to get Sonicore off the field, you get Sonicore off the field, no matter what happens. Because then counter moons we get to come back into play, and we go from there. The fact that they decided that they wanted to keep, I get why they wanted to keep Toxion on. They did tell me they were going to try and get the Griffuse into Volt Tempest, which I don't know how they're going to make that happen, because the fact that they left Toxion on the field for me to destroy, they didn't have anything to be able to get Griffuse onto the field, so there was that. But that is another clash down, another win, Sonicore being the major factor into this one. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, and I will have another clash for you guys coming very soon. Until then, my name is Frostfall, and I'll see you guys later.